What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog here with the Yankee post-game video. As always, appreciate you tuning in to the stream. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe button. It helps me out big time. Big shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring the post-game video. Guys, check out Sleeper. It is the fastest growing app out there. Over 11 million users on the Sleeper app. A lot of fun to be had there. Check them out. They have a great promotion going. Click the link in the description. You get a 100% match deposit bonus all the way up to $100 in your first deposit. Not only that, this is the cool thing about Sleeper right now. Make sure you click the link and use that promo code. You get a free $20. No deposit required. So you can check it out. You can do daily fantasy, Major League Baseball, college basketball, college football, all that good stuff. So you can do a lot of things on the Sleeper app. Again, free $20 just for signing up, opening up account, using that promo code, clicking that link, get your free $20. Check it out. And if you like it, use that promo code, get a free $100, right? Up to a free $100. So not a good day in Toronto. Yankees lose 10-1. Game a little bit closer than that final score would indicate. And if you're with me in the live stream, as I mentioned, it doesn't matter if they lost 2-1. It doesn't matter if they lost 22-1. It's one loss in Toronto, a place that the Yankees have lost 7 out of 8 this year. So they have not played good baseball north of the border. I feel like Toronto, they needed that one more than us. So the Yankees brought out their fourth starter. Gosman's one of the better Blue Jays pitchers. And the Blue Jays hadn't played well pretty much in September. Even the last time the Yankees played them, they won 2 out of 3. Of course, that was in the Bronx. So they were kind of going in different directions. The layoff may have helped Toronto. Toronto's also come into this series kind of beat up. So they kind of had to win this game. I feel like if they lost it, they would have been in really deep trouble. I'm not saying the Yankees are going to win this series by any stretch of the imagination, but I do feel like if Toronto would have lost today, the Yankees would have walked away with the series. That's kind of the way I look at it. You take a look at the pitching matchups the next 3 nights. You got Max Fried, you got Carlos Rodon, and you got Cam Schlittler. And they're probably going to go with those 3 guys the rest of the way, no matter how far they go. I don't think you could trust Luis Gil at all. He showed he didn't have much today. And obviously, in a postseason game, you need your starter to go more than 2 2/3 innings, which he did not do. Vladimir Guerrero, who hadn't hit a home run since September 5th, came up and got the Jays off to a really good start. And then, of course, Alejandro Kirk hit his first of 2 homers in the second inning, and the Blue Jays kind of never really looked back. So it was a good game for them. It's one game. The Yankees need to try to earn a split tomorrow. There was definitely some pivotal moments in this game, and we'll start with the 6th inning. I feel like this is where it turned around. The Yankees hadn't shown much of anything the entire day. Gosman was in control. The Yankees were getting out on, one pitch. A lot of the day they were swinging at first pitches. There was one inning Gosman threw 4 pitches. I don't remember. I think it was the 3rd inning where he threw 4 pitches. And then, of course, Hill came into the bottom of the 3rd. He didn't get out of the bottom of the 3rd. He had like 50 pitches through 5 innings. And then all of a sudden he ran into trouble. Anthony Volpe hit a rocket double off the wall. And then Austin Wells singled. And then Trent Grisham walked. And this set it up for Judge, Bellinger, Bryce, and Stanton. To me, this is where the game shifted. Aaron Judge, he's got 6 hits this year. So it's not like he's not hitting. It's not like Aaron Judge isn't getting base hits. It's not like he's 0 for 12. It's not like he's struggling at the plate. The problem is, and one of those hits was a gift. The ball that he hit to Durant should have been an error. That should have been caught. But that's scoring in today's Major League Baseball. Okay, it's just the way they do it. But Judge hasn't had that moment yet. And the 6th inning was his opportunity for that moment. He battled to a 3-2 count, and then something he really hasn't done all year. He chased a pitch that was well out of the strike zone, and he struck out with the bases loaded. And that, to me, was enormous because he got Gosman off the hook. You can't strike out in that situation. Aaron Judge has been an amazing Yankee his entire career. He should have 3 MVPs. He got robbed in 2017. He should win the MVP again this year. He's one of the best right-handed hitters I've ever seen, but he hasn't had his moment. He hasn't had a game-changing moment in the postseason. That was one he could have had, and it went right through his fingers. It slipped right through his fingers. Bellinger then has a good at bat. He's very patient. He's not overzealous or over anxious. He lets Gausman walk him on 4 pitches. It's 2-1. You're still in it. Sacrifice fly ties the game. Anything but a ground ball double play ties the game. Ben Rice, who was owned by Gausman the entire day. Gausman made him look bad in the previous 2 at bats. And then he gets Rice to pop up, which is a terrible at bat with the bases loaded. And then, of course, Varland comes in and strikes out Stanton, overpowered Stanton, which doesn't happen a lot. And there went the Yankee opportunity. You go to the top of the 7th. Ryan McMahon gets a single, and Volpe's at the plate with a 2-1 count. This is when he decides to go to Caballero as a pinch runner, does Boone. And I didn't understand it at the time, because if Caballero's coming in to pinch run, he should be stealing a base to get in scoring position. It's not like he came in scoring position so a single scores him. That's not what happened. So I didn't really understand Boone's strategy there. If you're not going to allow him to steal a base, he didn't even try, and he ended up being stranded there. And that was the end of the 7th. And then, of course, this is where the game was lost, was the bottom of the 7th. And Aaron Boone, you cannot go to Luke Weaver. Not in these spots, not in tight spots. This is reminiscent of Devin Williams when he was going to a really bad funk where he couldn't get anybody out, and he kept sticking him in there in high leverage situations. And as frustrating as that is in August and September, you still live to fight another day, even when you lose those games. In October, every game matters so much. And Luke Weaver has shown throughout September, and now in this postseason, he can't get anybody out. I don't know why you keep going back to him. He hasn't gotten 1 batter out. He's faced 6 batters, and he hasn't gotten 1 of them out. So that is that's not good. Okay, it's terrible. Then you bring in Fernando Cruz, and you don't want to bring him in with guys on base, and he gives up a couple hits, and that was kind of the end of the game. Then, of course, Blackburn came in there, and he just took it on the chin because the Yankees are trying to save arms. The game is pretty much decided. So you just let Toronto have batting practice against that guy, and you live to fight another day. So this was not a good performance at all by New York. But again, when you look at the matchups coming up and you look at who the Yankees have pitching the next 3 days, or the next 3 games rather, the Yankees definitely have a decided advantage. And your goal going north of the border is to earn a split. And they have a chance to do that tomorrow. My biggest issue with the Yankees is they've really become, and they mean you should depend on your starters. Like, they should give you length. But this bullpen is a major question mark. And there's not one guy that comes out of that bullpen where I'm like, all right, you can breathe. It's a little sigh of relief, where you're thinking, okay, this guy's got it. This guy's dominant. This will be a 1-2-3 inning. I mean, you can get some 1-2-3 innings from these guys, but there's nobody that's coming out of that pen that I'm like, okay, we got this. Every guy that comes out of the pen is a major question mark. What are you going to get out of this guy? So the Yankees don't really have a shutdown guy out of that pen. They can be shutdown guys, but nobody I have extreme confidence in. And Luke Weaver is definitely not that guy. We can't see him again unless there's a soft spot to land. Like if the Yankees were up 7-2 in the 9th inning, maybe you bring him in there to try to get his confidence back or something. But you can't go to him when the game is close at all. I think Anthony Volpe has been very good in this series. Anthony Volpe has taken a lot of heat over the course of the year, deservedly so, a lot of it. He was really bad for 2.5 months, 10 weeks. Just awful. Didn't look like he belonged to the major league level. He has hit the ball consistently this postseason. He's played a great shortstop. He's made great turns at second base. Volpe's played well. Volpe's one of the few guys that's actually stepped up in the postseason for the Yankees. He's actually kind of playing ahead of where he was in the regular season. You could say that doesn't really take much, but Volpe could be up there flailing away and striking out constantly and not getting any hits at all, but he's hit the ball hard. He hit a home run. He hit a double today. He scored the only Yankee run. And like I said, I don't know how many runs he saved at shortstop. So He's done a good job. Got to give him his credit on that. Giancarlo Stanton is really, really struggled. I mean, he's the guy that is just bad. I don't know if he's 1 for 12 or what he is in the postseason. And again, Aaron Judge has gotten his hits, but no like really impactful hits. And you're just kind of waiting. You've been waiting for years for Aaron Judge to step up and be that guy. He had the opportunity today and he failed. It doesn't mean he won't get another opportunity to succeed, but he has to come through in those situations. Stanton's got to start hitting. If the Yankees are going to go any farther than this series, if they're really going to seriously compete to win a championship, when the Yankees have opportunities to score runs, they absolutely must score runs. You can't squander bases loaded and nobody out. That type of thing can't happen. It happened in the bottom of the ninth against Boston in game 1. Yankees could have easily won that game. Easily won that game there, or at the very least tied it. It's 3-1, bottom of the ninth inning. You hit 2 sac flies, you're tied. And that's the same way you could have approached it today in the 6th inning. You're down 2-0, you hit 2 sac flies, and you're tied. Now, I'm not saying the game would have finished any differently. Toronto still may have beat the hell out of the Yankees no matter who they brought out of the pen. But if the Yankees would have found a way to tie it or take the lead, maybe Boone goes a different route. Maybe he doesn't. Right? That's the fallacy of the predetermined outcome. We don't know what would have happened, but situations change. And the situation would have changed had the Yankees come through in that inning, and they didn't. And that's a big thing that worries me. As much as I feel like we are favored, or like our pitching is definitely like we have, or the favorite, we have the advantage when it comes to starting pitching these next 3 games. That doesn't mean that our hitters are going to come through. It doesn't really matter. We've seen average Joes look like Tom Seaver against the Yankees. You just don't know. The Yankees have to find ways to score runs without hitting homers. They did against Boston. They had a 4-run inning. Of course, 2 of those were on an error. Again, the ball Judge hit in game 2 probably should have been an error. Wasn't. The Yankees really, and they've hit 1 home run. I think it's just been Volpe, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they've hit another home run, and that was in a loss. That was their only run. So that's my point. This offense isn't doing much of anything. They've scored a total of 9 runs in 4 games. It's not just not consistent. You're not going to hit 4 or 5 home runs a game. None of these guys have really come through. The one thing you could say about the Yankees is this: they can get very hot very fast. That's what home run hitting teams do. If the Yankees start to hit, they're going to beat anybody. I don't care. I don't care who it is, right? In my opinion, and that doesn't mean anything, on paper, like their roster is probably better than anybody left in the American League. I feel like they're a better team than Toronto. But just because you're a better team doesn't mean you play better baseball either. So, they still got to take care of business. Toronto's beat them up all year because Toronto makes contact. Toronto gets pitchers' pitch counts up and gets into the bullpen because they're able to foul pitches off, and they don't strike out, and they put the ball in play, and they put pressure on the defense, and they do the things that it takes to win a game. That's why they're the number 1 seed in the American League. The Yankees have the same record, but of course we lost the tiebreaker because we can't win in Toronto. Because Toronto hits the ball, Toronto makes the plays in the field. The Yankees don't always do that. They can. At times when they're doing really well, they can do it better than anybody else. But unfortunately for them today, that didn't happen. And again, with Aaron Boone, I don't always trust Aaron Boone to make the correct moves. Aaron Boone can't hit with the bases loaded. Like, it's not his job, but the way he managed the pen, I didn't really understand the move to Luke Weaver when you immediately have Cruz warm up. Like, as soon as Weaver comes out of the pen, you're warming Cruz up. Shows me I had no confidence in Luke Weaver, and he shouldn't have confidence in Luke Weaver right now. Luke Weaver's been a really bad pitcher. Won't see him again. I'd rather see Devin Williams at this point, honestly. And not that I think Devin Williams can always do the job, or Doval can do the job, or Bednar. Like, none of them. Like I said, there's just no guy. There's no lock coming out of that bullpen. I think that's the biggest question mark with this Yankee team is that bullpen. But if you're getting 7 strong from Max Fried and Carlos Rodon and Cam Schlittler and you can build a 2 or 3 run lead getting into the 8th, and you can get into the back end of your bullpen, you probably have a better chance to win those games. But if you get into the middle relievers, if you're using guys like Weaver, if you're using guys like Cruz, probably not going to end well for you if you're the New York Yankees. So they got to get it together. Again, it was one game, so it doesn't matter what the final score is at all. You go to Toronto, you want to earn a split. The Yankees have a chance to do that tomorrow. They have the race on the mound. The Yankees have to get off to an early lead. I think that's imperative for the Yankees. I feel like they need to build a rally early on. It needs to be in the first or second inning. It has to be early in this game. Put up a crooked number some way, somehow. Could get up 3-0, 4-0. Take that crowd out of the game and just let your ace, give your ace a lead and let him do his thing and win a game. And then you go back to the Bronx tied at 1 apiece and you feel good about yourself. But if you lose tomorrow, you're at the very least, you're guaranteed to go back to Toronto where you haven't played well at all. And you're in a game 5 and you've went through your 3 best starting pitchers. Not that you probably wouldn't use Max Fried at some point. Everybody's on deck in a game 5, but you don't want to do that. You want to avoid that at all costs. So if you're the Yankees, you have to find a way to win a ball game tomorrow. The best way to do that is to get out to an early lead. And like I said, let Max Fried do his thing. And hopefully Aaron Boone doesn't pull him too soon. And this time the bullpen can close it out. But not a good day for the Yankees today. And that is all I have for the post game. So thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. See you with the Giants 12:30 tomorrow. Bet you Dizzle, and I'm out. Peace.